This is what kettlebells can do for you. Folks, welcome back. It's Flex Friday. Oh wait, it's only Wednesday, right?
I guess that would be, I don't know, Wacky Wednesday?
Wacky Wednesday. Well, no matter. Pat Flynn, Alex Salkin back again. And we want to teach you the kettlebell front squat. So we're continuing the series on double kettlebell exercises. I know we were just doing some single bell curls here, but that's all showmanship. That's really nothing. It's a front squat that's going to help you pack it on. So let us know where you're tuning in from. Let us know what you're having to drink. Pat Flynn is all in red, white, and blue. You'll see my socks. It's Pat Flynn loves and respects America. So hit the like button if you too love and respect America.
Ignore if you don't.
Or fish tacos, we can like for that. I once, or was it the band Chumbawamba? Let's put them in there. And I once thought, this was a long time ago, that anybody who didn't like the band Chumbawamba just deserved to be smacked in the mouth.
I still believe that, very
now,
fervently.
I've changed a lot of positions throughout my life. That is not one of them.
That has stood very, very firm, and I agree with him.
So, a lot of stuff to potentially like on this episode right now.
Absolutely.
But the meat is about the front squat. So let's get right at it. Why don't I do a set of front squats, show you what this exercise looks like. Haven't really warmed up, so we'll just kind of see how this goes. Maybe do a few curls or warm up for front squats, right? Alex will explain some of the details and we'll dive into it. Sound good?
Sounds great.
All right, folks, let us know where you're tuning in from. Let us know what you want to see and what questions you have on the front squat. We'll answer them for you.
All right. So setup, number one, he's obviously going to need his kettlebells to be a little bit closer, one to the other. Notice he's leaning the kettlebells toward him. He's not just trying to rip them straight off the floor. He's getting them prepared so that they're going to actually do a little bit of the work for him, all right?
Whew.
Pulls back, stands up nice and tall. From here, he narrows his stance, and he's going to squat as deeply as he can. You can't see it from this position, but he is squatting as deeply as he can without losing the natural position of his spine. So what that means is he's not tucking his tail under at the bottom. The spine stays in the position it should be in. It will move a little bit like this, but his hips and knees and ankles are doing all the work. This is a full lower body exercise. It is not just the hips, not just the knees. It's everything all together. All right? You understand? All right. Now he is going to add in a couple of nuances that I did not mention.
All right, folks, so how'd that look? That look all right? Morning from Oregon. Hello, Carrie. How are you? So watch Alex setting up with a slightly wider stance than what is probably necessary for the squat. That's okay. We're cleaning the kettlebells. Zips them up into the rack. Now look at the rack. Look at this. Forearms are vertical against the rib cage. Kettlebell is on the forearms. Wrists are straight. Fist is below the chin. Exceptionally important that you get this part right. What you don't want is to roll the kettlebells up like onto the shoulders, right? There's no point. You're losing virtually all the benefits of a kettlebell front squat by doing that. So many of the benefits of the kettlebell front squat have to deal with that offset center of load. Sorry, Alex, make him sit there.
It's all right.
And having to wrestle with that load as you move through the deep squat. Tremendous utility for the deep inner core stabilizers, a lot of the outer ab musculature as well. So don't miss out on what one of the prime benefits of the front squat is by getting the rack position wrong. All right, so let's get that right from the start. So he's going to clean it up. He's set up. He'll adjust his stance as he needs. Heels are on the ground, about hip width, toes pointed slightly out. Really deep squat, but maintaining a long, tall spine. Deep diaphragmatic breathing. Driving through the heels, full range of motion while maintaining a neutral spine. Shall we alternate, good sir?
Let's do it. Should we show him from the side this time?
One more set front, what we'll do from the side.
Got it.
All right. Huh.
You notice Pat is also sweating profusely. It's not a requirement of front squats, but it's a very real probability. Another interesting thing to notice, as he's coming up, his knees do not buckle in. It's very common to see that. Maybe not that extreme. It's not uncommon at all to see people kind of bow their knees in. A little bit of a debate on whether or not it's really all that bad or unsafe, but generally speaking, you're gonna be much better off with your knees tracking your toes, and you're much less likely to report that your knees are bothering you afterward. So you might be able to get away with this a couple of times, just don't make it a habit.
Folks, you want a good cardio workout? The answer is more front squats.
Absolutely. Another round?
Another round, let's do it. Have some sort of truck pulling in here. Sorry for the noisy inconvenience. So notice, you know, the basics still apply. Start and finish are the same. We want to always be aware of how we're picking up the kettlebells, how we're setting down the kettlebells. Alex just looks like some type of bullfrog with squatting. Really great, awesome, deep squatting posture. Don't worry if you can't get that low. Your depth should depend on your stability, right?
Exactly.
So your mobility should depend on your stability, right? So meaning we want to go through as much of a range of motion as possible, but only in as much as we are maintaining a neutral spine, stability through the midsection, a neutral pelvis, making sure we're watching out for that notorious butt wink. Actually, you want to just do one with the goblet squat from the side. Turn that way and we'll show the, you can do two, but figure if you're going to do it wrong, you might just want to do it with one. So we'll show a mistake, and we'll show it with a lighter load. So that way there's less risk of Alex hurting himself. So, look it. Now show a few reps. That's what we don't want, right? So we can see, and I'll move the camera. We'll get a little close up here. All right, good, long, tall, neutral spine. Now here's what we don't want to see. All right, we don't want to see any of this. We don't want to see any of the Quasimodo going on. So it might not be this exaggerated. One very common thing that will happen that you have to look out for is just the tailbone tucking. So let's just show what that looks like, perhaps maybe from the top. You might be, so start from the top, and then as you go down, watch his hips. What you want to watch out for is that little rolling under of the pelvis, okay? That's where we start to lose our strength and stability. It might not be tremendously harmful when you're doing it with, you know, just one kettlebell. Might not be the worst thing in the world, but we've lost something, okay? We've lost some element of control. And if good technique is about anything, good technique is about awareness and control. It's also about intention. What am I intending to do and what am I actually doing? So if there's a point where what I am actually doing doesn't match up with what I'm intending to do, I'm not using good form. That's what good form is. Do the effects match up with the intention? So if we are intending to squat through a full range of motion with a neutral spine, and at some point we're increasing range of motion but losing the neutral spine, we have lost control. We are no longer in good form, so to speak. Pat, can you demo the prying goblet squat? Yeah, so this is a good prep move to help increase step. Let's see you do it. Sure. Alex is like the frog with mobility here, so. I'll get out of the way so I can explain this. This is a really good way to just open up the hips before any heavy squatting session. Bill, so thanks for bringing this up. We're gonna squat down. We're gonna put the elbows inside the vastus medialis and start to shift our weight side to side, push the knees out. And what we're trying to find here is space. We're not trying to force anything so much as we're just trying to loosen things up and maybe come into a deeper range of motion. We'll spend some time here, you know, maybe 30 seconds, maybe a minute. Do this with a light bell. No need to do this with anything heavy. And then most of the time, see, Alex can regain his stability before coming up, but most of the time when you're done with this exercise, you'll want to put the kettlebell down before standing back up, because you're probably just not going to be in a great position. Does that make sense? Thank you, Alex.
My pleasure.
Does anybody else have any questions on the front squat? So we've covered some of the basics, and then of course supersets in between.
Guns and buns, baby.
With
You gotta do some curls.
Guns and buns is how we're doing it today. Actually, we got some bottoms up pressing and stuff for the strong arm routine today. So those are the basics. And remember, if you feel like something's missing, maybe you didn't get that something with the goblet squat or the rack squat. Got sweat in my eye now. So like we see with moves like with cleans and snatches, where a lot of the mistakes can be fixed in the swing, Well, same thing with the front squat. A lot of the mistakes in the front squat were really mistakes that were never addressed with the goblet squat or the single arm squat. So, you know, it's easy to want to rush ahead, but, you know, don't trust the process, don't rush the process, as we often say. So, hey, that's all.
Thought something profound was coming.
That's all we got.
That's good.